Hello, my name is Kate and I'm gonna tell you about the Lich who opened 3 wizardy schools in D&D. Aumvor, old Netherese wizard who survived Karsus Folly, the Undying One who mastered the necromancy so far that kept himself alive for a long time before embracing Lichdom. Pursuing the restoration of Netherese Empire, he spread the thoughts and teachings through Schools of Wizardy, was instrumental in turning Laeral into Witch of the North, and managed to split own phylactery into thousands of pieces in Endless Caverns. He can be found in all editions of D&D such as Lords of Darkness, Champions of the Ruin or Lost Empires of Faerun. But how did he become like that? Let's figure it out. Aumvor was a Netherese powerful wizard who was born in the Netherese Age of Discovery, somewhat between 1205 and 700 DR. Always interested in necromancy, the young, short and bulky wizard dedicated his life to studying the secrets of life, death and undeath. After long years into the necromancy at one of the Netherese floating cities, he built his own black castle near the city of Everesca, in the heart of Lonely Moor, where he invited all his family and relatives. Among these was a prominent low-ranking arcanist Morasha. Yet, time spent with unliving creatures twisted the mind of the wizard, making him completely losing all moral and empathy toward the living. He was one of the few who didn't want to become undead and embrace lichdom. Instead, he successfully leached the energy from his undead servants, prolonging his own life, which earned him the title the Undying One. It is said that he even converted his own family to zombies, sparing only Morasha's life, turning presumably her to the Lich. In 339, Karsus Folly event happened, driving all Netherese flying cities to the ground. The magic failed and Aumvor saw how one by one his zombies feeded by magic turned into ashes. Without life energy to feed off, his castle started to ruin. Aumvor started to wither away as well. He left Morasha in Lonely Moor castle ruins and escaped to Endless Caverns beneath High Forest, initiating the Lich transformation. Aumvor was always collecting artifacts from old Netherese era, collecting what was lost. Adventurers who survived all the traps and natural obstacles leading to Aumvor's lair could find lots of sculptures, paintings and legendary magical artifacts from early Netheril. Being nostalgic of the old days, Aumvor hoped to create the new Netheril Empire one day through restoring the magecraft as it once was, escaping the restrictions imposed by Mystra. During his lifetime, he succeeded in creating lots of powerful spells, with 2 of these being close in power to the spells of the old days, Aumvor's Fragmented Phylactery and Aumvor's Soul Shatter. Fragmented Phylactery spell allowed Aumvor to break and spread his own phylactery across Endless Caverns in 206 pieces. That's where Voldemort would definitely envy him, yet the spell demanded over 200,000 gold to create. The second spell, Soul Shatter, allowed to separate soul from the body of the target within 300 feet range. The hollow body stood still until possessed by the caster, and again, the spell would cost 350,000 gold to create. To extend his network of followers, Aumvor wanted to spread his influence and Netherese teachings among promising evil mages. In 711, he guided wizards of Ascalhorn to found a Brotherhood of the Black Hand, yet it was discovered in 765 and exiled from the city. Over 300 years later, in the start of 11th century, Aumvor again attempted to create a school of wizardry on Swords Coast, a school called Ulcaster's Schools of Wizardy. The school was quite successful, brought many attention to it and got burnt and destroyed. Aumvor decided to focus on a single master-apprentice relationship and found an apprentice Briel in 1320, a potent archwizard who was eager to study Netherese secrets. Yet soon again, under Aumvor's guidance, Briel founded a secret school of wizardry in Baldur's Gate. Well, I understand that he is a lich and so, but he did more good to Faerun than most of other governors or mages combined. He opened 3 schools of wizardry across the Faerun, which were successful. Several years later, in 1337, Aumvor secretly orchestrated that band of adventurers would find Crown of Horns, a powerful evil artifact capable of transforming a living creature into lich over time. The adventurers presented the crown to Laeral Silverhand, who was turned mad instead and would be known as the Witch Queen of the North, before the crown was successfully removed from her in 1357 by Hellbent Blackstaff. The plan to obtain and control Laeral failed, and soon also Aumvor's Baldurian Wizardry School too was uncovered and ceased to exist in 1374. In the same year, the Shadowar enclave, Longan city of Netheril Tultantar, appeared on Faerun again, and shades started to roam the land seeking the old knowledge of the past. Being paranoid and knowing the potential threat, Aumvor decided to stay low, observing from the distance, plotting in secret how to spread the teachings of Netherese once again, and build what was lost. Is he a strong character? From the lore perspective, he was an all-powerful Netherese wizard and the lich, who was extremely skillful necromancer, inventing many wild and potent spells. From technical perspective, in old editions, he is a creature of CR 34, had over 208 HP, possessed 21st armor class, had many legendary artifacts apart from the standard must ones that all wizards have, such as Robe of Archmage, had lich resistances and immunities to many effects and spells, and had epic level spells in his arsenal. And now, a bit of DM tips on how to play him. Firstly, Aumvor would never fight on his own, use lots of mages to fight on his side, and also use Endless Caverns to create an endless maze of your imagination. Secondly, we don't know what happened to him during the spell plague and after, so presumably he's alive, and potentially you can open a new wizardry school of evil mages that terrorize the land and is guided by Aumvor. I think Lich would agree to parley in exchange of knowledge on valuable Netherese artifact, or if he wants you to get rid of some irritating shades roaming nearby his lair. And that's all on the Aumvor the Undying One, the old Netherese lich who survived Karsus Folly, and as I said, it's not known what happened to him, so probably we can see him again in the future opening another wizardry school. And if you like the lore, please press like and subscribe button, and tell me in the comments below who else you would like to hear about. And see you next time!